I acknowledge the fact that a recording is happening.
I know. That's what I just had to do too.
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
I don't even know what it said. I couldn't read it. It's too small. I didn't read it.
Sure
I just
it was just like,
I think
hey, you're being
Jaws read
recorded.
it out. It just says this meeting is being recorded.
The
has like the got it button and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one button says "got it," which is fine. Whatever.
Like,
I got it.
I got it. Exactly. Oh no, Dave.
I'm already dying. One.
All
5 seconds into 5 seconds into the show, and I'm already dead. Okay.
Are we live?
You are live. I'll monitor the chat, but you all just have fun. I'm going to kind of just mute myself from the Zoom end and let you do your thing.
Solid. Welcome to Inspirations Beyond Disability. Today, we are talking movies. Why? Because why not? Real life sucks often. So, I am one of your hosts, Jay. I am joined by Dave and Shy.
What up?
And we are going to delve in deep because we had a serious conversation before this, and it just really can kind of, mellow you out thinking about real life. So I wanted to talk movies with you guys, and I wanted to get your perspective on all things. It's funny because all I can see is myself in Zoom, and that's weird. I don't like this.
You gotta change it to the gallery view.
Gallery view.
Yeah, like that button's really defined and really easy to find.
It's
almost as easy to find as the got it button,
That button is a lot.
Literally, when I logged into Zoom today, let's just start there. One, we all had to use a different link than apparently Jay, because Jay's the only one who could get into the meeting. The other one,
a secret reason why my account apparently says owner, and I can't figure out why the heck it says owner.
It's like Jason gave you some special privileges. Also, when I got in, I had to acknowledge my webcam and my audio settings like 3 times, and they were still like crossed out in the bottom corner. And normally when you click on that like little crossed out section, it'll like go away. Didn't go away. Yeah. So I still don't know what I'm doing. Anyway. It is
what it is. Like that's Zoom apparently. I also might be logged into my work account, in which in case, boss, I'm sorry. So yeah, that's gonna be an interesting conversation on Monday. Like, so you were on Zoom for an hour on Friday, but you were off. Right? So movies. So I wanted to start with this. Obviously, we all watch movies, despite the fact that culture doesn't think we can or should, for that matter. So I want to know, kind of going around the table, if you had to pick 3 movies that you consider your favorites.
Oh, God. What 3 I wasn't prepared for this.
You wasn't prepared for this? Should I have emailed the questions in advance?
Yeah, for that.
I actually thought about doing it. I'm like,
maybe.
Wow. My top 3 favorite movies of all time.
Jesus.
I mean, you can pick all right, let's do this. 3 movies that you really, really love. You don't have to rank them. They don't have to be in any particular order. Just 3 movies that you really, really enjoy. Things you can watch over and over again and not get bored with.
All right. Well, you have had time, sir. So how about you answer first?
Yeah.
Always think.
Because I don't want to just be like, I'm gonna pick my 3 absolute favorite Marvel movies because I just basically watch Marvel content at this point. Like that's boring. No one cares.
Why?
Now you gotta go deeper than that. Go farther back than that.
Listen, I made a TikTok advertising this episode, and it literally had the Avengers theme underneath it. Because I'm like, that's what's gonna bring people in, the Avengers. So if we go Marvel, it would be right on brand.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like no matter what I circle through, like Avengers Endgame is one of my favorite movies of all time, and probably will be for the rest of eternity. Like I'll never let that go. But as like a film critic, I understand that that's not a very good movie. But like for me, emotionally, right? That's a different conversation.
But that's the point of film, isn't it?
That's
it's about how it makes you feel.
Yeah.
I have so many qualms with the movie critic review culture. I hate it.
I mean,
for me, it's like, how did that movie make me feel? What did I go through watching that movie? Was it like fun? Did I enjoy myself? Did I feel things? Okay, it was a good movie. I don't really care if it was textbook wise a good movie. I don't care.
I think because I'll be honest with you, there are some films that I look at and I go, that critic was completely wrong. But then there are some other films where, like, if you ask my wife, if there's a movie that I think is bad, like we're watching it in the theater or we're watching it at home, first place I will go is Rotten Tomatoes and be like, is it just me or does this movie suck? And then you just look at like, nope, I'm not the only one that thought this movie sucked. Like sometimes they get it right. There are movies where you go, you know what? From start to finish, they got this completely right.
Until people started like spam hating on Rotten Tomatoes and like doing like crazy shit to make it appear like a movie skewed one way or the other, like before that happened, I would have said Rotten Tomatoes was a pretty good bar of the actual quality of that movie. Yet at the same time, there's movies that sit in like that probably like 40% rate that I'm like, I love this stupid movie. Like a couple years ago, the Power Rangers movie came out, the new Power Rangers movie, and everybody hated it. Everyone hated that movie. I thought it was the most fun Power Rangers movie you possibly could have made, and I'm still mad they don't make sequels for that franchise because it's not a good movie, but it's really fun.
But you know what? Because this could be a rabbit hole unto itself. So Jason, I'm starting to get the maybe. That movie is the first movie where it was like, dang, the villain actually did something real. Because like in that, spoilers if you haven't seen it, if in that film, Rita actually goes to an unmorphed Ranger's house and like stands over them like while they're sleeping. Like when they wake up, they just see her standing there like, I know who you are. I could kill you right now if I want to, but I won't. And it's like, that's a good point. Rita knew the whole time who they were. Why did she never just like take them out during like school hours or something like that? Like it totally makes sense. That movie was okay.
It's not good. I'm not gonna defend like it being a good movie. And definitely there's tons of other movies, but I think like people actively hated that movie so much more than it deserved to be hated. It's a Power Rangers movie, guys. It's not, we're not taking Marvel movies and analyzing the same way we do when we take something like Pulp Fiction or Fight Club or, you know, like these aren't the same
Green
kinds
Mile
of
or something.
Yeah. These aren't the same movies.
I personally, I'm not against reviews and critics and all that. I just don't believe in making your decision on a movie based on the reviews and the like. If I see this movie and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to see that, and then I look up the reviews and it's like got a 20 something on Rotten Tomatoes, that's not gonna mean, oh, I'm not gonna see that. That means it sucks. There's no way I would enjoy that.
You know, there's one movie I can totally like. I don't know how other people feel about it, but I loved it because I'm an Injustice fan. So like Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice, like many people hated that film. I understood it. I understood it. Like, have you ever played or watched the like Injustice playthrough? I understand like why. Like, granted, the Martha thing is stupid. The Martha thing is absolutely stupid. But
here's the thing. Injustice, the video game. The video game is a great video game. It's a great video game. The story in Injustice is great. We're in a whole nother conversation. When we talk about Batman v Superman, the movie, it's a trash movie, and I don't care.
I disagree.
Let's hear him out, Dave.
All right. So with some parts, I think the Lex Luthor. I keep calling him Mark Zuckerberg because that's all I knew him from besides Lex Luthor. Mark Zuckerberg was terrible as Lex Luthor. I hated that idea. I always thought it should have been Bryan Cranston because, good God, Bryan Cranston would make an intimidating Lex Luthor, right? I think picking him as Lex Luthor was stupid. Him as Riddler, fine. Cool. The thing I like about it is, number one, Ben Affleck as Batman was perfect as Batman. Batman should feel like that towards Superman. I actually am one of the few people, one of the 10 people that bought the extended edition when it ended.
One of the 10 people.
Yes, one of the 10 people that bought the extended edition. And like, when you look at, like, I understand Zack Snyder needs to learn how to cut films way the heck down. Like, he needs to learn how to actually make a 90-minute or a 2-hour film. But like, in the explanation of like Batman's side of that thing, I totally understand. Superman feeling how he feels, because again, I like Man of Steel because Superman's code is Superman doesn't kill. Why doesn't Superman kill? Probably because he killed somebody before and was like, no, this isn't the way to go. So I understood Superman from that point of view. Like, I'm trying to redeem myself. I'm trying to be a better person. I understand Batman being afraid of him. He's an alien, not really too much information about him. Totally understand it. I think that's more real world. I think the way they ended it was stupid. I think the way that the whole Martha thing happened was stupid, but I think it was a story that could have been probably better told if they went the Marvel approach, like what Marvel did with Civil War and Cap and Iron Man, and give them time to build a feud. But I understood it.
Even then, if we want to talk about the comparison movie, I didn't know this is what we were coming into, was a Batman v Superman versus Captain America Civil War conversation. Welcome back to 2016, everybody. Anyway, what I will say as a hardcore comic book fan, right? As somebody who's read comics on both sides of the story and think that DC Comics are only good when they're telling really good stories, and most of the time DC Comics are trash. That's an opinion I'm going to stand by. Most of the time, Batman is boring and dumb.
Oh God. Okay.
At the same time,
I need a nerd out episode. Okay.
those two movies, Captain America Civil War is not a very good representation of the actual comic book story of Civil War.
Yet none of Marvel Comics is.
Yet they made
none of the MCU is.
No, you're right. None of it is. But they made a very fun 2-hour movie that told that same kind of story. DC made a very bad movie that was semi okay to the comics. Kind of, if you've read enough Batman comics, I think Ben Affleck's Batman wasn't actually terrible. But the movie was a train wreck disaster the entire way through and was no fun to watch in any way. And therefore, Captain America Civil War and Batman v Superman are both movies that are not accurate to the comics, and one did a good movie and one did not.
I mean, no, one did the same movie they usually do, because Marvel has a formula where they do the same movie over and over again.
And it works.
People just like it because it works until people start to realize it's the same movie over and over again.
No, you know what? I saw.
Critical.
Let's jump ahead in time to present day here.
Okay.
Before I decide my top 3 movies of all time that I had no time to prepare for.
Well, this is the filibuster to give you that time. So go ahead.
I saw Venom: Let There Be Carnage this weekend. Because it's clearly definitely part of Marvel's.
I have not seen it.
Wait,
you're not missing out.
That's a spoiler. That is a spoiler.
I'm not spoiling anything to say you need to see it because I think it's important.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say about it. And I also am saying that I saw Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings. And both those movies formulaically are the exact same story.
Yeah.
Except Shang-Chi is a really good movie.
Yeah.
Venom: Let There Be Carnage is the same movie, but not good.
But that's the thing. Marvel's had 20 films to make the exact same film over and over again, but they've had time to perfect it. They've had time to tell the same story. This like the origin story is always the same. Think about it. Every Marvel film right.
So I think that Iron Man 1 and Shang-Chi are almost identical movies, formulaically, like all the way through, the same way that Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America and Civil War, and Batman v Superman are the same movies. But some people do those movies correctly, and some people do not.
You're right. You're right on that. Some people know how to do the Marvel formula.
But I think every movie at its core, even like we're gonna take like The Little Mermaid, right? Let's just throw something wild out here. Like it's still like solve the problem, beat the bad guy, and so is every other Marvel movie. Like it's the same.
Hold on, Shy. What were you saying?
I feel like I'm a good middle of the road here.
Okay.
Because I'm not emotionally attached and or invested in either DC or Marvel. Like I obviously enjoy the Marvel movies in general way more because in general they're better. But as far as the formula, it's all the same. Like the thing that happened with, in my eyes, with DC and Marvel is Marvel decided to go the like jovial, jokey, lighthearted side of like comic books and the superhero plight, right? And origin stories, which are all the same because they're origin stories. Of course, they're going to be the same. As it's the origin of the character. And then DC decided to try to go for a more like gritty, grungy, like
adult way.
They took a different turn, and it just didn't hit well. It just didn't hit as well as Marvel's did, and that's really where it boils down to. There's also like the continuity in the Marvel cinematic universe that is just really nice. Like everything is connected somehow.
I completely agree. Like, but I don't disagree with the fact that DC, like, I'm not sitting here defending every DC film because I don't like DC's approach. I don't like, there's several DC films I just can't stand, like I cannot watch. My biggest problem with DC is that, and they admitted this, what DC tried to do is DC said, we can catch up to Marvel. We can catch up to Marvel where they were in 3 films. And everyone went, are you on drugs? Because you cannot catch Marvel in 3 films. Now, if DC would have did the smart thing, because everybody, well, I know a lot of people usually say, if you would have started with Christopher Nolan's Batman, which was out at the same time as Marvel's doing Iron Man, and built the DCEU off of Christopher Nolan's Batman, then you would have actually had time to introduce characters like Superman and Wonder Woman, Aquaman, and Green Lantern.
And you could have done it.
Do Justice League.
And done it in that gritty DC world. And
Yeah.
it would have been great.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So,
but they didn't do that.
They didn't. But that's because, and thank God, AT&T didn't really want, because AT&T was the ones who owned Warner Brothers at the time. Fortunately, AT&T just sold off Warner Brothers. So like DC's getting a redo, and they're getting a redo under somebody else. So and hopefully when people see like, hey, you know, this new DC film is coming out, everybody doesn't go, but here comes Martha again.
There's just such a bad taste in people's mouths society-wise over DC, which sucks because there's good movies in there.
There are a couple. There's a couple really great movies in there, like Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy.
Yeah. Nolan's Batman trilogy. I think Wonder Woman 1 was fantastic. Wonder Woman 2 is
Suicide Squad is probably amazing, and I haven't seen it, but I'm basing
Suicide Squad. Yes, that one is actually because I hated the first one. Huh? Would you say, Shy?
That was nuts.
The one that just came out.
Yeah.
It's James Gunn's R-rated version of Guardians of the Galaxy. At least
that's exactly what it is.
And that's great. Do that. That's fine. But here's the problem, and this is the argument we started, which is people are saying we're going to be tired of the formula. We're going to be tired of the same order. No, we're not. That's never going to happen. It's not going to happen, because even if you look at any other film in a completely different genre that's not superhero comic books, it's the same goddamn formula.
It's storytelling.
It doesn't. Rom-coms are the same film over and over again.
It doesn't matter that it's all superhero movies. The only thing that matters is that, guess what? When you watch the first one that you watched, you could have watched Shang-Chi and never seen another Avengers movie ever. You could have watched that movie and gone, oh my God, that's really fun. That's amazing. And then, holy crap, there's 27 other movies that happened before this that are all connected, and I can go watch 27 other movies, and 26 of them are probably really good. Right?
26.
That's no. We could for Dark World. We could cross off. We could cross.
You could cross off Ant-Man while you're at it. The first one.
You don't like Ant-Man?
Oh, hell no.
The first Ant-Man movie is just Iron Man again. It's the same movie.
The first Ant-Man. I don't fall asleep in theaters. My wife will tell you I do not fall asleep in theaters. There are 2 films I fell asleep on: the Born Ultimatum and Ant-Man. I fell asleep on both of those.
Why did you go to that?
Born Ultimatum? Because I like the Born trilogy. I really did like the Born trilogy. I thought it was going somewhere. Well, wait. Let me make sure. Was Born Ultimatum the only one without Matt Damon in it? Was that the one without Matt Damon? Was that the one with Hawkeye in it?
I don't remember.
I think that's the one with Hawkeye in it. That's the one I fell asleep on. Because it was just like, it was basically like the supporting cast going, "Where's Matt Damon? Like he's coming back. We need to stop him when he comes back." I'm like, it's the reason why I don't watch Gotham, but that's TV. But like, I cannot watch a show about an Agents of Shield. I cannot watch TV shows about the supporting cast talking about the main characters for an entire film. That
Okay,
is not
see
going to work.
here's the reason I love Agents of Shield. I know this is a TV show conversation now. Is the connections between those characters. Agents of Shield is a really, really, really good TV show. Just ignore the fact that it's attached to the Marvel movies and enjoy the couple moments that you get where they're like, "Hey, look, it's Lady Sith from 4. That's cool." It's not connected. Just ride along knowing that Coulson.
No, Kevin Feige took jabs at Agents of Shield when when WandaVision came out and they were like, "This is the first show that's connected to the MCU." I know Agents of Shield went, "Excuse me?" But
except Coulson, the reason I love Coulson, the reason Coulson is my favorite Agent of Shield ever, and will always be, despite he's a movie creation originally, and the reason I cry when he dies in Avengers now is because of Agents of Shield, not because he died in Avengers, right? It's because I'm emotionally attached to Coulson as a individual character because of Agents of Shield now. And when he shows up in Captain Marvel again in the 90s as a flashback character, basically, my mind just was so happy.
It's the big spider web that is Marvel media. Like, it's just so beautiful.
Coulson does nothing in Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel is my least favorite Avengers.
I don't understand what's the hate on her. All right,
because it's better than Ant-Man.
We're gonna have
it is better than Ant-Man. But we need a nerd out episode. I promise you, we need a nerd out episode. So speaking of fandoms and not trusting the critics, hey Shy, did you agree or disagree with any of the ratings for the Star Wars prequel films?
Oh God,
the prequels.
Yes. I hate the prequels.
By the way, this is fun fact. I wrote an entire essay in my English 2 college class about the prequels because I didn't know what to write about, and it was an argumentative essay. Guess I love them for nostalgic reasons, and that's it. So my essay, I decided to write about why they're bad. I love them. I wish I still had this essay. It's somewhere buried in my computer. Maybe. But they're not good. I love them so much. Like, I will I've rewatched them hundreds of times. I will literally just leave them on and let them play in the background. I love those movies. I do, with all my heart and soul. They're not good. They're not good.
When I first saw them.
For some of the characters, it's just weird. It's weird.
People who defend the prequels, people who Star Wars fandom who defend the prequels,
they love them.
This early 20s. They're in their early 20s right now.
Now, yes.
And they're defending it because they grew up watching them as kids and go, but they're like really integral to the story and like
they really are not.
I'm like no,
they really are
no,
not.
they're not. They're actually, if anything, they actually kind of ruin it. Like they kind of ruin everything about Star Wars.
Listen, I still can't connect Anakin Skywalker, the whiny little kid, the whiny teenager, to Darth Vader. Like when I watch Darth Vader, I can't go, "I hate sand. It's nasty. It gets
it's coarse."
Like, come on, Darth Vader.
Of course, it gets everywhere.
Darth Vader? Like no.
You know what fills that gap for me though? Have you watched Clone Wars or any of the series?
Okay, so here's 10 seconds on that. I fall asleep on Clone Wars every time I watch it. I'm watching Rebels right now.
Really?
Yes. I fall asleep on Clone Wars every time. Every time. So, it is boring as I cannot.
Okay, so
I find it boring too.
I watched it as a kid, so that's why it's different for me. I watched it when it came out, when I was in like 7th grade.
That's what. Okay.
So, but the thing with Clone Wars is the first like 2 seasons are kind of hard to get through because it was made for kids. So the first 2 seasons are kind of difficult, but like because Joe, I had him try like 3-4 times, and it was the same thing. He couldn't get past the first couple episodes. He couldn't get through the first season.
That's where I'm at. I can't get through
listen,
it. I can't get it.
I was like, just skip it. Just skip the first season and watch the show. And he's like, fine. So,
but then isn't the whole show out of order anyway? Like, there's a whole web.
It's completely like in order. What do you mean?
So there's a whole list out there that basically says that all of the events in Clone Wars are basically out of order. And there's I'll share it in the chat, but there's a whole list of like how to watch Clone Wars in order, like how to watch. Because like, for example, there'd be like, say like there's like event A, right? There'll be event A in episode 1, and then it'll go like event Q, and then it'll come back to event A in like
season 3. Season 3, episode 11 actually happens before episode 1, season 1.
Then, yeah. So there's like a whole list of like how to watch. Now, many of the episodes are in actual order. So some episodes be like season 1, episode 5, season 1, episode 6, season 1, episode 7, and then it'll go like season 4, episode 9, and then it comes back like season 1, episode 12, and then back to like season 1, episode 10.
But it's not even
so
like
weird.
It's not even like they say they're flashback episodes. Like, I understand a flashback episode. Like, we start in present day and then go back. Yeah. That's not how it's interpreted. It's like, no, this battle, this entire episode, this one-off episode was long before this happened.
Yep.
See, but I feel like in Clone Wars, like, except for like the integral things like that are huge plot points, you know, like Order 66 and the when they go to like the Force planet and all that, like the big integral moments are probably in order. But I feel like all the little battles and like the little like war events really don't need to be. Like, it doesn't bother me. Like, you're telling me that I didn't know that they weren't in order, but it doesn't bother me knowing that. Like, I'm not going to go rewatch it in order, quote unquote, because they're very episodical. Is that a word? They're very like
episodic,
contained in their own episode.
Episodic. Yeah, they're very contained. It's like, this is what we did on this planet. This was the battle. This is how we resolved it in these 2 episodes or whatever. And it's over. And we're going to go to another planet and another battle. Or we're going to go see what this person is doing over here. Like, it's a war. So it doesn't bother me that those things are spread out like that, because stuff is happening all over the galaxy in this big ass war. So it's I don't care that it's like, that's really interesting to know, because I didn't know that. But I'm not going to go fix it. Like, I'm not going to rewatch it in this whatever order so that I can know which battle happened before the other one. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you know?
Like, all of that. Because the crazy thing is, all of that is supposed to lead to what Star Wars: The Clone Wars film, which was like hard to get through. So, like, the only prequel I like, I think, is the last one, Revenge of the Sith. I think it's the last one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only one I can go, okay, I can get with this.
I can get through it. I can get through that movie now.
Yeah.
I find myself, episode 2 is a train wreck. I hate it. It's a bad movie. It's not fun. I love Star Wars, although I also like the new trilogy. So come at me.
The last one.
I mean, the middle one is a problem, and
no, they're all here's the thing about the sequels.
Episode 8 is a mess.
No, here's the thing. Episode 7 is nothing but episode 1 all over again. I mean, not episode 1.
Well, we all knew that.
Right?
We knew that.
So it's just like, if you can get through all of like, because I'm sitting in the film. I was sitting in the theater. I went the night that it premiered.
So did I.
Yeah, me too.
Episode 7.
I wore this R2D2 dress, and like, it was great.
I was in a Darth Vader onesie. That's a real thing.
I had a Millennium Falcon t-shirt. That was the best I could do. But like, I went and I'm like enjoying myself, and I'm watching the film, and it's me, my wife, and it's my cousin. We're watching, we're enjoying it, and it doesn't hit me until the ride home. I'm like, we just watched episode 4 all over again with just new characters.
Yeah, it was just A New Hope again.
Yes, it was A New Hope.
So what?
Over again.
It hit me when I was in the theater. I was like,
really?
Oh look, new Death Star. Yeah, I literally in the theater, and I was like, I don't care. I'm having a blast.
Yeah, same.
Same.
It's a blast.
I felt you. I felt you a little bit.
I'm having so much fun.
It's like, one of those things.
This is great.
Yeah. I'm glad. First off, I'm glad Disney owns it. Honest to God, I want Disney to buy DC Comics. I promise you, I've been waiting for Disney to just buy DC because I think it would get done. I think it would get done much better. But like when Star Wars was bought by Disney, I'm like, okay, we're about to get Star Wars for the rest of our lives. We're about to get episode 10, 11, 12, 24, 25, 26. Like it's just not going to end. And I'm happy because the mouse knows what they're doing when it comes to like longevity of a property. Heck, you got what's his name? What's Han Solo's real name? Oh God. Harrison Ford. You got Harrison Ford to actually do interviews and press circuits, all just to be a part of episode 7. And that guy said he never wanted to be part of Star Wars ever again in his life.
Yeah. Because guess what? Because if you make it fun and making the movie is fun and watching the movie is fun, that's all that matters. And when Disney bought them, there was an initial backlash. There were a bunch of people who were panicked. There's a bunch of people who continue to hate Marvel and Disney for being Marvel and Disney. Yeah, shut up. Oh. It's so fun. Shut up.
Yeah.
Just shut up.
Yeah. That's why I kind of want them to buy DC. I think they would do DC right.
Nothing. Yeah. Even if Disney bought DC Comics, they're not gonna goddamn ruin Superman for you.
Yeah.
They're not.
But I don't think the new guys are either. That's my hope, is that they're going to, like, as much as I love Henry Cavill as Superman, you need to reboot him and kind of get the taste.
They need to start over and accept that they have to start over.
I think they have. I think that's why Flashpoint is sitting. Again, this is more of a nerd episode, but I think that's why Flashpoint is sitting in the wings, because Flashpoint in the comic books reboots the entire DC universe.
Right,
and I think that's what they're going to do with DC. I think they're going to reboot it through Flashpoint.
They don't need to reboot it. They don't need to say anything. They don't need to put a character to reboot it into a movie. Just shut up and make a movie. Call it Superman and make it a fun fucking movie.
But I think that's how they're going to do it. Because you can't. In the minds of many, it's going to be like, well, isn't Henry Cavill still super? Think about what happened with Spider-Man.
It's like the Spider-Man situation.
Exactly. You had to do something to get rid of Andrew Garfield to bring in Tom Holland. You had to do something different.
Yeah, but
you couldn't just go forget that guy. That guy doesn't exist. He's not there. You can't trump him away, right?
This is Spider-Man now.
Right? Yes. You can't do that. You have to have a reason, right? And Tom Holland being introduced in the MCU was the reason Andrew Garfield didn't need to exist anymore. You need a reason for Henry Cavill not to exist anymore. And I think Flash's reboot, the Flashpoint film, is going to be that reason.
Yeah, just shut up and make the new Spider-Man movie, or shut up and make the new Superman movie. Just shut up. And in 20 years, it's not really 20 years. Yes. In 8 years, bring back them and put them both in the same fucking movie. They're about to do what they're going to do with Spider-Man. We're about to see a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I know that people doubt this. People really do doubt this, but we are about to go into a Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland.
There's no way they don't do that.
There's no way
to do that.
This is a good thing. This is a good segue in film. Expectations.
I watched the Tobey Maguire movies. I just watched the first Tobey Maguire movie again, and there's moments in it that like thinking about the possibility that Toby shows up and has to interact with Tom and talk about this thing. Like, I started just crying watching the Tobey Maguire movies. Okay. like
listen,
the possibility.
I'm going to stay even keel on it, because the worst thing in the world is to build your expectation. Go into there and like Tobey Maguire is a busboy now in Tom Holland's Spider-Man verse, and like Andrew Garfield like works for UPS or something like that. Like
if Tobey Maguire's only purpose in the entire movie, which is possible that this is his only purpose, but if he shows up and delivers a pizza to Tom Holland and says pizza time, that's enough. That's enough for me. I'll be fine. That's great.
And that's the reason why I don't like, for film expectations. Sometimes, like, as film fans, we kind of get our hopes up, expecting something to be like, it has to go this way, and then you get to the film and then it doesn't, and now it's the worst film ever.
That's
right?
Terrible movie.
That's why I don't.
Wanted.
Right. If you're following the contracts and watching the leaks and all these things, it seems like Tobey Maguire didn't want to do this because he was going to get basically 2 minutes of screen time in this movie, right? That's all they were going to give him. Right. So the possibility of him showing up and actually doing anything of substantial anything is setting your expectations too high. But just the fact that he is 100% in this movie, at
He
least
could be a
for a
post-credit
moment.
scene, dude.
You're right.
Oh,
You're-
Like
You're
that's
right.
that's the thing about Marvel. Marvel doesn't always give you what you want or what
No, they
fans
don't.
think they're going to get, right?
I love
And
that.
that's why people get so outraged with Marvel, because in my head canon, it didn't work like this. Like that's
Then go
not
write
how
your
it
own
works.
fan fiction.
Nobody
Shut up.
cares.
But
I
that's
don't
the
ca-
problem. That's
This
the
is
problem
the same
going into
people that
film.
hates. These are the same people who hate the new Star Wars trilogy. They're wrong.
That's
Shut
because-
up.
Because
because-
this should have happened and that should have happened and
Right.
this doesn't make any
Right.
sense. And blah,
But
blah,
that's-
blah, blah, blah.
But here's the funny thing. That's most film. Like we see it in the nerd community more because that's just like how it's
Where we
always been, right? But like, yeah, that too. But like, it happens in almost every genre of film, especially in action films. When people, have you ever been in a theater and heard somebody like, "Oh, well, now this is going to happen and this is going to happen and this is going to happen. I know how this film's going to end," and it doesn't go that way, and they're like angry, and it's like a Terminator film, or it's like
It's like people being mad. It's funny that people are either mad that movies are so formulaic and they do the exact same thing over and over and over every single time,
or they're mad that it
or they're
doesn't
mad that
happen the way
they didn't follow their expectations and they didn't
you
follow
go.
the formula.
there you
And
go.
so pick your battles,
There you
guys.
go.
How
And
about
that-
you shut up and enjoy the movie they gave you?
No, I mean that's too hard though. That's too hard for some people. But I
Except at the same time as DC's not giving me anything that anybody wants, except apparently Jay.
mean,
Here.
watch
So
watch the Suicide Squad. And then
you
let
know
me
what?
watch the Suicide Squad and let me know.
But see, that's the problem. I trust James Gunn, and I know that movie is probably good because James Gunn makes really good movies.
Yes,
That was
that's what
sometimes.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Fair.
he was
fair.
the perfect guy to do Suicide Squad.
He was
'cause
the
he had
perfect
already
guy to
done
make Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy.
Yes.
Right.
So he was the perfect guy. That's all I'm saying. Watch it, and I still feel like okay. So the only misstep I feel like DC has had since Justice League, I feel like they misstepped a bit on Birds of Prey. I did not like much.
I
of what they
didn't
did with
watch
Birds
it.
of Prey.
I gotta say, I didn't see
It's
it.
skip it, just skip it.
I didn't watch
and
Joker. I didn't
Okay.
watch Birds of
Joker
Prey.
was
I
fantastic. No, Joker was fantastic.
I believe that, and I
Joker is so good.
Joker
Joker is so.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And here's the funny thing, because if the rumors
this is why I can't pick 3 favorite movies of all time, guys.
if
This
the
is-
rumors
so
are to be
good.
believed about Joker was not supposed to be a Joker film. Joker was just supposed to be a one of those like Oscar type of films, and they went, nobody's going to see this, and they switched the main character to be Joker.
Right, but see, because it's not accurate to the comics and it doesn't have any expectations,
That
and it's just
movie
they're just making
is so freaking good.
they're
Yes,
just
it
making
is.
a good
Oh,
movie
yes,
to
it
make a
is.
good movie.
A good movie.
And that's so I think the only missteps they have are Birds of Prey and Wonder Woman 2. Wonder Woman 2 was, I'm glad I didn't pay to see Wonder Woman 2. That's just because you remember how they used to like let you pay for the film, like if you wanted to watch it day in, day of. Like I was like, nah, I
Yeah.
think I'll wait and see how it is.
No, I'm good.
I wish they'd continued to do that. By the way,
HBO
would-
did. Well, there's a reason why
HBO
they
did it.
didn't. There's a reason why
I
they-
wish Disney would continue to do it,
Nope. You see the battle they just lost with Scarlett? They lost that battle with Scarlett Johansson.
and
They
they
can
gave
talk
her a
about
bunch of
themselves.
money and shut her up, and let's move on.
Yeah, can you do that for every film going forward?
I have arguments on both sides of that coin. Like on Scarlett's side, she wasn't paid enough money, and at the same time as we're in the goddamn global pandemic, like shut
Yeah,
up.
I
Like
think it should be that way, just period. Like you should have the option if you want to watch it at home, watch it at home. Because
yeah, I would have gladly watched Venom at home.
like that would have been nice.
I miss
to
the
continue.
movie theater.
I
It's-
love the movie theater,
haven't
but I
been-
don't.
I
But
love
I
this
don't-
I
series.
haven't
I don't
been
trust
to
the
the
people. in it.
theater. I haven't been to the theater since before this stuff started because I hadn't gone in a couple months.
Yeah.
And then COVID happened, so it's been over a year since I've been in a theater.
I went
I
to
don't-
Onward on the movie Pixar's Onward like the week before the shutdown.
Oh, I watched it on Disney Plus.
See,
I
here's
my
watched it
cousin.
again on Disney Plus. It's a great movie. It is everything that it should be. It's great. It's the
some-
best
I'm-
brother movie ever made.
I'm hesitant
I
to
was
say this
impressed.
because this might open the floodgates of people showing back up, but because of the pandemic, nobody goes. So you could actually go to a theater and be there all by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went
Oh.
to Shang-Chi and
I went to
and
go.
Venom, and both theaters were full of people.
Oh, really? Sheesh,
Well,
not here in Philly. Because we went to go see, well, it's not on that level. We went to go see Deadpool's, what's his Ryan Reynolds Fall Guys film, which sucked. But
it sucked. I forget the name of that movie.
Boy,
already.
howdy did it. That movie was
but see, here's the thing though. A movie that's a perfect example. That's a movie that I could not care less to see in a theater at all. Right? Like Avengers, whatever the next Avengers movie is.
Yeah.
I have to see that.
If I can't see it in a theater, I'm sad. If I can't see Spider-Man in a theater, I'm
but
sad.
It's because of the experience. Like you want that audience reaction with you.
But some dumbass Ryan Reynolds movie or Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I could have watched that at home.
I seen another movie that day too, and I can't remember what it was. But both. Goodness, what? Sheesh. It's not a horror film.
There's a Halloween movie that just came out.
It's not Halloween. It's the movie has the main guy is blind.
It was like a thriller, wasn't it?
It's a thriller. Yes.
I feel like what you're talking about.
I can't remember what the name of it is. And my wife is probably frantically typing it in the chat. I can't remember what the name of. I hate the film. I hate the series. I think it's stupid. But
so to bring us back to our disabilities subject that we're here on, how do we feel about representation of blind characters in media? Do we care? Do we care at all? Does it ever make you feel more attached to the character, or make you feel more included?
One time.
Okay,
You go, Jim.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you. Babe just said it's Don't Breathe.
There you go.
That whole series sucks. But
sounds
go
dumb.
ahead.
Okay.
Okay. So, the only time that I saw a blind person in a movie and it actually made me like feel for him was in it's a chick flick, The Fault in Our Stars. And that's because I did not expect him to be there. The movie is about a girl with cancer and a guy.
There's a blind character in that movie. I watched this movie I don't even remember.
I had no idea. So it was her. It was like their friend, and there's this girl that started dating him. Knew he was blind. He's very blind, and started dating him. And then after a few months of being with him, and like they were quote unquote happy. She was like, this is too hard. I can't do this anymore. And like dumped him in like a shitty way and like didn't treat him like a person. And like
I saw this movie, I did an entire podcast bitching about this movie, and I don't remember this at all.
Really? They went to her house and like egged her house after, like the girl with cancer and the boy she was dating and the blind kid. They went like they were like,
see, here's the thing. I don't remember even that part of it. Like
that's I didn't see it, but I would totally watch it. But I honestly,
it was cute and kind of sad. But that part, because I was prepared. Everyone's like, "Oh, this movie's really sad. You're gonna cry," but I was prepared for something with the couple to make me cry, which it did at the end. But
yeah, that didn't work for me. I remember that not working.
I didn't know that the blind kid was there. I didn't know anything about him because I never read the book or anything. And that scenario of him just getting dumped by someone that he thought loved him because she just didn't want to deal with the blindness, that made me sad. I was like, what if that happens to me one day? Like, that sucks. So that's the only time that I feel like I've connected with a blind character in media.
Every blind character I've seen in film is either a sucker or a villain. Like Don't Breathe 2 tried to make the blind guy like more heroic. Don't Breathe 1, this dude was pretty, like, the story is that they tried to rob these group of people that tried to rob a blind guy's house, right? They wanted to rob because he had a bunch of money and they wanted to rob him, right? They thought, he couldn't see, so this was going to be easy, right? So it turns out the guy was blinded because he was in the military. So he's military trained. He's like Navy SEAL level trained. And like the whole movie is basically them getting waxed by this blind guy, right?
I saw that.
The ending of the film has him because there's like 3 guys and a girl. And the girl, he basically traps in the basement. And then they turn him villain by trying to like have him take a turkey baster and like impregnate her with his
her.
I'm like,
yes,
you had to turn him villain, like you had to make him a bad guy.
I remember that movie.
I'm so glad that I only have enough time to consume only Marvel content at this point.
Trust me,
I don't have the time to watch this garbage.
Because like
I'm so happy.
At the end of it, I'm like, who the heck am I supposed to root for in this film? They tried to rob him, but now he's technically trying to rape her with a turkey. Like, I don't know who I'm supposed to cheer for in this film. And then
Dude, I remember that movie, man. I was on that emotional roller coaster with you. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yes. It's just like, why? Freaking why? Like, that's Don't Breathe, everybody. Don't watch it. That's what it should have been called. Don't watch this. But that's
it was a journey. It was an experience.
It's a ride you don't want to go down. It's
I already went down it with you just now, and I don't want to go down it.
Trust me. Imagine going down that ride for about 2 hours. Trust me, you don't want to do it. Speaking of terrible things in film, so I don't know if you guys use AD like that, trying to correlate the accessibility into all of this. I don't know if you guys use
So on my way to Venom Let There Be Carnage, I thought I should try it. Like, I'm used to it at home. Like, like something is extremely visual, like a show is really visual and I'm alone.
Yeah.
I turn it on for my own personal enjoyment, but I don't burden others with the annoyingness that sometimes is the audio descriptions. And I also I don't need them that often. Like to watch a dumb sitcom, like
sitcoms, you don't need them for.
You don't need them. You don't need them. And also, like, sometimes even when there's a visual gag, like Rachel, my girlfriend, will like look over me and like tell me what the visual gag was. And then like 5 seconds later in the show, they'll acknowledge the visual gag. And I'm like, oh, well, I literally got it either way. Like, no matter.
Yeah.
So I don't care. Like, I don't usually use it. And I was on my way to Venom and thought this would be an opportunity to like try this in a theater, because I didn't even know they had it in theaters until I found you guys on TikTok and you guys were talking about it. Like, I didn't know that was even an option. And when the theater was so crowded and I got in there and I was like, I had to like go to a customer service desk and ask for a thing, and like, we just want to sit in our theater. Like, I didn't do it, and that I regret it, because one I would love to have seen. No spoilers. That post-credit scene described. I would love to know what the audio description says.
Yeah.
Like just out of a nerd standpoint, I'd love to know exactly what the hell they said. Secondly, there's just so many stupid battle scenes where it's just big giant blob monsters fighting, and I have no idea what's going on.
Yep. All you hear is music in the background without AD.
It's an hour. It's an hour and a half movie, and 45 minutes of it is just
fighting.
Yeah.
And like in a really good like movie where they're really making an effort to make sure you know what's happening and who's fighting, like, I don't have a problem. But when it's giant blob monsters, like, I don't fucking know what's going on.
Shy, do you use it?
Okay, so I like Dave didn't know that it was a thing really in theaters until a couple of years ago. I actually learned about it in one of Molly's YouTube videos, funny enough. But I love it. So I use it at home a lot. I've even gotten to the point where Joe doesn't mind it at all.
Yeah.
So like, because I would always be like, we don't need it. Like, you can turn it off if it's annoying. Like, I don't care. I'll be fine. I've been living my life without it. If we're watching something together, we don't have to put it on. But he'll like go out of his way and turn it on. Like, he's like, I don't care. So I'm like, cool, fine. But I don't put other people through that. Like, if people are over and we're watching something, I'm like, I'll turn it on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fine. And sometimes they don't care, and sometimes they do. Whatever. But on my own, I use it constantly now. It's set to where every time I put something on Netflix or Disney Plus, it just does it automatically. Because even if I don't need it for the whole time, there could be one moment in the show where I was like, oh, that was helpful. Like, that is worth it for me. So if it can be on, it's on. Unless it's, like you said, like a sitcom or something where they're just sitting around talking anyway, and it really doesn't matter. But it's what got me through freaking Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It got me through that show, because I don't the hell? Everybody's fighting and throwing things and punching people. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. That show was made so much better with the audio description for me. Like, because I know exactly, like, oh my God, he just got stabbed or she just died. Holy shit. Like, I got to react. to things happening.
I love it in theater.
Use it, especially for Marvel and superhero stuff.
Usually in a theater, the screen is so close to my face and it's so big that I don't even feel like I need it. But I'm really mad I didn't go up to the desk for Venom.
No, I loved it. Well, I didn't see Venom, but I love using it though. Like, the only thing I would say is bring your own headphones. Like, don't use
the headphones they give you.
Don't.
Can I connect my AirPods? My famous Apple. I'm just kidding.
I know.
But like, I wish they were. Because I would take my XM3s that I have on right now, and I would love to hear like theater quality audio while watching the film.
I was gonna say, do they pump the movie audio through it at all?
Yeah, you get everything.
You can get it that way, but a lot of times it's just like the actual description.
Right. Well, see, if they can pump the movie audio into it, I'll take my big, like my studio headphones, and put them on, and then I'll be in the same the 5.1 theater experience.
Here's how you get that. You can ask for it because there's like, it's a box and it has like 2 little side switches on it, and it's like, you know, do you need the audio or do you need the audio description? If you say both, you will get both. Because I got that when I went to see if Beale Street Could Talk. I got that for that, and I just listened to the whole film like I had these headphones on, just listening to that film, and it was amazing because you get to hear everything a little bit better, but you also get like that audio description in the background. Plus, you get to drown out annoying people next to you who like to talk during the film.
I was gonna say, I think if you put me in that scenario, if I plug these headphones into a real box in the theater, and you put that giant screen in me, like I will just be completely absorbed.
Yep.
Like
that's the way it should
I
be,
won't be anywhere but in that movie. Like you'd have to like literally shake me out of it, I think.
Yeah. But that's the experience.
I love the thing that's annoying when you go to like fancy movie theaters, they give you like the really nice, I don't know if you've experienced this, Jay, but you get like the really nice over-ear headphones that have the switches where you can change the channels yourself.
No.
And you can like choose between audio only or description only or both.
When
you don't have to talk to anybody. They just give you the headphones. You have all the controls. They're over ear. They suck in the sound so nobody else can hear it. But you have to go to like those fancy dine-in theaters to get those.
I need to go to one of those.
I was gonna say, are you talking like Alamo Draft House, or are we talking like brand new remodeled AMC theaters?
I'm talking because I've gotten them at AMC's. Also like the iPick one we have here that gives you a friggin' blanket in the theater and shit. They have them.
That sounds so gross. Please don't do that. I know they're washing them. I gotta know they're washing. But I don't know that. I don't want a blanket one over me in a theater. That's just gross. Like that.
I can bring one from home.
No, I used to bring my own blanket. Like once we started going to the theaters that have like the big comfy recline seats.
Oh,
like,
I love those chairs. Yeah.
I would bring my own blanket and like, get cozy and watch movies. Hell yeah. But I'm with you with the sharing blanket. I mean, they don't do it now because COVID. But they do wash them. But anyway, those headphones, maybe.
Depending on the neighborhood, maybe.
Those headphones, those big fancy ones that you get at the fancy dine-in theaters are my favorite. But the ones that the shitty rinky-dink ones that they give you bleed so much. Like anyone sitting on either side of you can hear it. The person behind you can probably hear it.
See, that's so annoying.
It's so annoying.
I don't want to be that guy.
That's why you have to bring your own headphones.
But the question is, why would you want to use the community headphones to begin with?
I barely want to touch
you
the
don't know
community
who
box.
had these things before you.
That too, yeah.
I don't trust these things.
The community box is probably covered in enough people's hand butter.
Okay, so today's lesson, if you are going to go see a specific R-rated film and you need audio descriptions,
don't make it grosser. I meant like from the popcorn.
Just don't. Oh God. I did not need. Now he's gonna have me look at every R-rated film. I'm just gonna go watch Deadpool and be like, you know what? I don't think I need that box now.
Hand butter. I hate it.
I meant
I
from
hate
the
it.
popcorn. Don't
I
be
know
weird.
what you meant. It's still gross.
It still has that. Oh. Oh.
Show title, hand butter.
Oh,
Please,
God.
please, Jason, hand butter is the title of this episode.
Hand butter. Hand butter.
That's so gross.
Oh gosh.
Are we ready to pull it back to our favorite movies?
Yeah,
Are
we can
that
pull
question?
back.
Oh God! All right, I
At least
still
we
haven't prepared.
We were still on topic, so yeah, we can pull it
Okay,
back.
we did. Okay, so I guess I could give you shit. I don't want all of mine to be Disney movies.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It was like,
if they are, then they are. It's fine.
I'm a really big Disney person. Okay, so the first one I
Lion
could
King
think
1,
of.
Lion King 2, and Lion King 1.5. Okay.
is it wrong that I was gonna argue Lion King is up there, but like Lion King is tied with Tarzan and
Tarzan. Dude,
you don't like Tarzan,
dude? No, with Lion King.
I love Tarzan.
Listen,
leave me alone.
The opening credits of Lion King alone. The opening credit, they could have ended the movie and went, "Thank you, good night," and I'd have been like, you know what? You covered the cost of admission. That song and that whole little opening montage with him holding Simba up in the air.
And stuff.
And everyone bows down. No, I'm good. That's the whole film. That's like that was Up before Up existed.
It was so good.
That was Up before.
Oh, let's talk about Up. Let's talk about Up for 5 seconds, just because I want to get. I want to get an argument out there. Up is a really good movie in the first 10 minutes, and then is a trash movie the rest of the way through, all the way through. It doesn't get better. It doesn't have a big meaning at the end. It doesn't fix itself. It doesn't repair. It's a dumb movie.
I kind of disagree because I understand. Like, I understood the character. I can't remember the old guy's name, but
Mr. Fredrickson.
No, yeah, Mr. Fredrickson, but his first name I think is Carl.
Okay, so
you're right. It's Carl.
I understood why Carl was the way he was. Like the whole first half of that film, like I viewed that whole film through the lens of Carl. Like, I don't want to be bothered. Yes, the villains were kind of dumb.
Yes,
but the squirrel dog was fantastic. I'm sorry.
I love dogs.
I loved him.
I love dogs, but all the talking dogs are annoying. Like they're
that's
all
how dogs would be if they could talk.
Yes,
I agree. Yes. It doesn't make it a fun movie.
I love that movie. Now, I will agree that the moment, like the part of the movie where they're like, you know, going against the villain or whatever, and all his talking dogs, that's probably my least favorite part of the movie. I will agree there. But to say that the movie is bad after the first 10, 15 minutes, I strongly disagree.
Yeah, I'm with Shai on this one. Like, I realize it's not one of Disney's best, but it's also not one of Disney's worst.
All right, Toy Story 3 is my favorite Disney animated movie.
Toy Story 3 is fantastic.
I'm gonna
Toy
put
Story 3 should have ended it.
I still agree with that.
They came back
Toy Story 4 is a really good movie, but I still don't think it should exist.
It's completely different, I feel like.
It's a new saga.
Yeah, it's a different saga, I feel like. Because Toy Story 3 is definitely the end of our saga.
The thing I like about Toy Story 3 is that, like, I like when movies grow up with you. Yeah. And like they let you know, like it's their way of saying, like, this is goodbye. Like we have to.
They're acknowledging who their true audience is.
Yes.
Like, yeah, sure, it's a kids movie, but you didn't make this movie for the kids that are around now. You made
it for the kids that were growing up during Toy Story 1. And that's what I liked about it.
Any kid could have walked into Toy Story 3 when it came out. Any kid could have walked in at any age, but it wasn't for them. It was for 20-year-olds who were going off to college at that exact same moment because they watched Toy Story 1. That exact same that's who it's for. And people who are like, Toy Story 3 is so sad. It's just depressing.
It's supposed to be.
It's supposed to be.
Finale of Toy Story.
It's supposed to make you cry, you stupid fuck. Cry. Let it out.
I promise you, when they made Toy Story 3, they had no intentions of Toy Story 4. So they were writing it as a goodbye. Thank you for sticking around for so long.
Oh, God, it was so good. Toy Story 4 was for the new kids.
Yeah, that's why I didn't watch it. Because, like, when they said the main character was like a character named like Forky or Spoony, I'm like,
Forky.
Nah, I'm good.
It was a fun movie. It was not for us.
It's also good. It's also a
Yeah,
good movie.
Okay.
it is a great movie.
I mean, it's
just-
Disney, so I don't doubt it. But like,
It's Disney Pixar. That's how you know.
Pixar bets without
Except for The Good Dinosaur and
I did not see the Good
Never
Dinosaur.
watched Cars.
Cars 2.
I didn't watch any of the Cars franchise. I feel like I was too old by that.
You're
You
good.
should watch the first Cars. It's really good.
Except you'll probably fall asleep in the first Cars in the
I
middle.
love
It's
the
really
first
boring in the middle.
Cars.
I like the first Cars movie too. I like the first Cars movie. I even kind of like Cars 3. It's way better than 2. 2 is unbearably impossible to watch.
2 was trash. 2 was If you watch the Cars franchise, do 1 and then do 3. Pretend 2
1 and 3. 2 didn't happen.
2 never happened.
So basically, that's how you is that. So it's pretty much Star Wars sequels because they treated Episode 8 like it didn't happen.
I suppose.
No,
yeah.
if you look at it, they treated Episode 8 like it didn't happen. Like everything, it was like Episode 7 and Episode 9. Whatever happened in Episode 8,
except Episode 8. Episode 8 ruined everything that Episode 7 started, and that's
why.
I'm gonna stand.
I need to rewatch them.
I do too. It's about time to sit down and say, all right, I know what we're in for now. I know where we are. I understand what happened.
And
yeah,
let me
let's
just watch
see
these.
it as is.
Yeah.
Except I don't think I've watched any of them since I watched them all when they premiered. I don't think I've rewatched any of them.
I haven't watched Last Jedi yet, so I just know about what happens in 9.
Okay.
So I'll watch them again. 7, 8, and 9.
When episode 10 comes out, I'll rewatch all of them again.
When is episode 10 coming out?
Eventually.
Oh, I thought it was something that was already announced.
We don't. They have a bunch of Disney Plus Star Wars spinoffs that are coming out. That's what's coming out for Star Wars, and that's fine because Mandalorian was really good until I had to wait week to week to watch it, and then I didn't.
Oh, dude, I don't do that. I wait like 5 weeks in, and then be like, all right, well, let me watch.
Yeah, except everybody was freaking talking about it, and it was also the only new thing to watch on Disney Plus that wasn't High School Musical, the musical, the series, which I also watched.
I watched it too.
Okay.
So let me I'm going to do my top 3 Disney movies, which is impossible for me, but if I try to do my top 3 movies ever, my head will explode.
Okay, so let's do that. It's top 3 Disney. Top 3 Disney.
I'm such a big Disney person, so even this is hard for me, but I'm going to do my best.
I'll do the same thing.
I have to put Lilo and Stitch up there.
Oh, that's
Because
a good one.
it is the movie that I have rewatched. I feel like if I put them all, if someone helped me calculate the amount of rewatchings of Disney movies that I've done, it might be the highest. And the thing that gets me about it, I'm not even saying it's better than any other movie, but the thing that gets me about it is I still laugh at the jokes. I still do the quotes, the go to your room. I'm already in my room. I still do everything every single time I watch it. And I still enjoy myself equally, which is confusing.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
My sister calls one of my sister's nicknames for me is Cobra D Bubbles. I have not been able to escape that name my entire life. That's why I always remember Lilo and Stitch.
I love it. It's one of those movies. And then I have to put, God, this is hard. I have to do.
This is too hard. It really is. Even if I narrow it down to like Disney animated movies, and I'm still gonna be like,
I'm not doing like DCOM or anything. I'm doing animated only. I can't even fathom.
But we can count.
It's because
Marvel
Dave has the live action Lion King in his list, and he doesn't want to.
I hate that fucking movie so much. And if we're gonna talk about most rewatched Disney movies, my most played VHS, which I could, if give me a second, I can pull out my Lion King VHS because I still have it. That is my most watched Disney animated movie ever. Period. Is Lion King 1.
I have a story about Lion King VHSs. So this is why you never buy your VHSs from bootleggers, right? So my dad, when I was younger, we seen Lion King in theaters. We wanted to watch it again. My dad went and bought a bootleg out of South Philly. He bought a bootleg.
No.
Dude forgot to like it was bad. Like it was like camcorder pointed at the screen back.
Oh no!
This
I
dude
remember those
forgot to
days.
turn it off. He went to the bathroom with the camera still on.
No,
And
he
all
did not.
Yes, he did. And all you is.
No, he didn't.
And we're like, Daddy, what's happening? He's like, go upstairs, go upstairs. He had to shut the video off. Dude,
Literally, that is amazing.
that's why I will not buy bootlegs to this day. I'm like, I am not watching.
That's the
We
greatest
always
story
had
I've
really
ever
good
heard
luck
in my
with
life.
bootlegs back in the day. Oh my god, that's so funny.
But
That's amazing.
The only prominent bootleg we had growing up was the SpongeBob movie.
Oh no, we used to buy bootlegs out of the back. There was this guy that used to pull up to the Walmart and sell bootlegs out of his trunk. So
My mom kept me out of those neighborhoods.
we had when my grandma lived in one of those neighborhoods, so I was
We
there every
lived in one
weekend.
of those neighborhoods.
We would go shopping, we would come back out and be like, hey, look, bootleg guy's here. Let's see what he got. And we would look in his, we'd be like, you had this last weekend. All right, bye. Like, it was normal.
It was the $5 bin before the $5 bin existed at Walmart.
Yes, exactly. Okay,
All
so
you got number one for Shy. We got Lilo and
I'm gonna
Stitch.
do Disney animated, and
Okay.
I'm not gonna include Pixar because if I do, I'm gonna lose my freaking mind. So Lilo and Stitch, I'm gonna have to do an old one. So let me do an old one. Let's go Alice in Wonderland, which just hit its 60, 70.
Oh my god, really?
Yes.
Did they
70
release an
years ago.
anniversary Blu-ray? I need it. I
I think they're going to, yeah. I think it's either 70 or 75 years. I can't remember.
Okay.
Of Alice in Wonderland. So I have to put Alice in Wonderland there because it's just my heart. It just has my heart. So that's my old one. And then I'm gonna do a new age princess one. Maybe I can go. No, I can't go. I gotta stay 90s. It's between Aladdin and Lion King. I feel like I have to go Lion King, but I want to do Aladdin.
Okay, so Aladdin.
Yeah, I'll pick
So
Lion
Aladdin.
King. I'll take Lion King for you.
Okay, so
Okay.
I'll do Aladdin then.
All right, Dave.
I mean, Robin Williams, like it's classic.
Yeah,
So-
his
so-
portrayal in that was iconic.
Iconic. So I've got Lilo and Stitch, Alice in Wonderland, and Aladdin.
All right, Dave.
That was hard.
Lion King.
Okay.
The Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh god, there's too many. There's way too many. I want to say I like Frozen like a lot, and I do,
I actually do.
but I
I've never
don't.
seen
I
it.
don't. It's not worthy enough being on my list. Like it's
Okay.
just
Yeah.
it's overblown and overhyped, and I
I
like
agree.
Moana, but I don't love Moana.
Yeah.
Like, jeez.
You
I'm
can do-
gonna throw Tarzan on there because apparently nobody likes Tarzan.
Oh,
and
I
love
love
Tarzan.
Tarzan.
Tarzan
Right.
is
Phil
one of the
Collins-
greatest soundtracks
Phil
ever.
Collins killed that soundtrack.
The soundtrack
Phil
is.
Collins-
I've heard the soundtrack. I have not. I used to watch Tarzan the animated series. I've never seen the film though.
Oh god.
Really? You've never seen the movie?
Yes, and the only reason why I seen Tarzan the animated series is because it was during the days where I was just sitting at home before college, and it was on like Kids WB or something like that.
Yeah, they used to just. Yeah,
I've seen it too. It's not as
Me
good as the
too.
movie.
Okay,
I love that movie.
so my top 3 Disney. This is easy for me. So number 1 is Lion King. That opening by itself could be the whole film. I'm good.
Okay.
Number 2, Toy Story. That was Real
See, I didn't-
Housewives of Atlanta before Real Housewives of Atlanta ever existed. Buzz and Woody, the heat between them and the jokes still hit to me. For
The
this
jokes still hit. You're right. I had to
And-
cut out Pixar because my head would have exploded.
And number
same.
3, this is still one of my favorites of all time. Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, I
All
love
day. Emperor's New Groove.
Oh,
Cusco,
yeah.
We watched that movie
1000%
a couple years
Cusco.
ago. Or last year. I
Not
just rewatched
Cusco.
Kronk.
Crunk. All day.
Here's the thing, and this is something we kind of touched on is we are at a point, like we grew up in the 90s, right? And when we grew up in the 90s, there was a point where there's like VHS tapes and everything, and like movies were finally taking over to the point where like everybody had a ton of them. Everybody had
Yeah.
movies. So like when we're in our our teens, talking about like what's your favorite movie of all time is like a conversation you can have. But now we're at a point where it's like, no, listen, there's
There's so many.
I've probably seen 7,000 movies. right? Like realistically, and I love at least 300 of them. Like love them. Like you're not gonna convince me to pick out of my top. I'd have a hard time making a top 50 favorite movies of all time list.
I
Like
feel you.
I couldn't pick a favorite movie of all time because no matter what, even if you ask me on the day like that, every day it's gonna change.
Oh, I can tell you my favorite film easily. Like for me, it's the movie you can quote the most. It's the movie that you can when you're down, you could watch, and you only can watch one film. It's that film. When you're happy and you can only watch one film, it's that film. For me, it's always going to be A Few Good Men. It's always going to be A Few Good Men because so much iconic. First off, the cast in that thing was amazing. You had Demi Moore, you had Jack Nicholson, you had Kiefer Sutherland, like you had Tom Cruise, like you had a dope cast, right? On top of that, a lot of You Can't Handle the Truth is literally born out of that film. And that was born out of an accident because that wasn't the line. Right. Jack Nicholson got so caught up in the argument that he forgot his line, ad-libbed it, and it's a line that's stuck around. That's stuck around to this day. Like that film for me, 10 out of 10. Plus, I grew up wanting to be a lawyer. That movie was all about law. I wanted to be in the military. That movie was about the military.
I mean, I love making movies to the point that I went and got a filmmaking degree, right? And it means nothing because I'm just not very good at it. But like, also just working in general, it's just a whole nother thing. But like, I couldn't even narrow down like my favorite genre movies. I couldn't even like I can tell you that I think Happy Gilmore is the greatest comedy ever made in the history of mankind. Like it is, period, by default, the greatest comedy ever made.
Gilmore, dude.
I like it.
And I don't care what anybody says. That's the best comedy ever made. But that's it. Like, but then there's 7 million other comedies that are also probably almost just as amazing, if not also perfect comedies. Right? Yeah. I can't do this. Like I can't do it anymore. like you can say, even Dave, what's your favorite space franchise? And it's like, all right, so we got Star Trek, we got Star Wars, and we've got Guardians of the Galaxy. Like those are my top 3, and Guardians wins. Period. Hands down.
For me, space would have to be either Star Wars or Doctor Who for me.
I see. I
never got into Star Trek.
I tried. I really, for the life of me, I wanted to get into Star Trek.
It's
hard.
I need a lot more time. I need a lot more free time to watch Star Trek to get into Star Trek more than I am. That's the thing. It's like there's a bunch of series that I've never watched because I'm just not that committed enough. But like I like all the Star Trek I've seen. I like it. I also really like the new movies that people don't like. Especially the last one.
I literally haven't experienced any Star Trek. And I want to, like, I have a friend that has gotten really into it, and like I want to watch it. I just haven't. But I dove into Doctor Who like 6 or 7 years ago and fell in love with it. And I just love how ridiculous and fun, but also like deep and like heartfelt and hilarious. Like it has so many layers. It's so good.
That's another franchise I want to get into. Good.
Yeah,
but I need that thing to be AD though, because it's like I feel like I'll miss way too much without audio descriptions. Like
I need it to be all available everywhere, and I know that there's like lost chunks of it. But if we're gonna start with Doctor Who, like I need to start in the 60s.
Oh,
like
I need to. I need to. All of the old one. I haven't seen all of it.
I love that shit.
Hard,
like I love
shows like that.
I love like Star Trek the original series because it's so awful. Everything about that, I love it. I eat it up. So if I'm gonna watch Doctor Who, I want to start in that era where literally it's trash cans rolling around going exterminate.
Yeah,
and, like I want it to be the fucking trash cans. Like
I can't. I cannot do that.
It was the 60s. What were they gonna do?
I mean, I realized the special effects were not the best, and I can give them the grace for that. It's like watching 1960s Batman, right? I watched it as a kid. It's totally fine to watch as a child. As an adult, you go, that's really the best line you can
Yeah, but
Like,
that's the best. That's
line
the
you
best
could
part.
give this guy.
It's just so cool to watch the just how different things are now, and like if they saw what we're doing now, they would be like shocked.
Like, I don't know if the '60s Spider-Man is available on Disney Plus, but it should
I've
be.
seen that.
Oh my god, I love that
I've
show.
seen that.
It's
Suction
so
cups on the,
it's ridiculous. It's not Spider-Man. It's its own like random nonsense,
Now,
but it's great.
Here's the amazing thing. They've also made Captain America like that. There's the Captain America 60s.
Oh, I know. Oh, I
There's
know.
a
And I don't have
Hulk
enough
60s
time to
show.
watch all of it, or I would.
Like, yeah, I'm telling you, I would make a podcast cringe factor. Just watching all of the old like 60s like Batman, Hulk, Spider-Man t-shirt.
I know that people's
TV
favorite
shows.
favorite animes of all time include like Naruto and Dragon Ball and all these things, and yet like my personal favorite, swear to God, I swear this, I mean this 100%. This is not a joke. I love Speed Racer. I love it.
I forgot Speed Racer was an
I knew you were
anime.
gonna say Speed Racer.
I forgot Speed Racer was an anime. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I love that
I
show.
knew you were gonna say Speed Racer.
It's
Me too.
the cringiest. It's the weirdest. It's so weird. And the dub is terrible, and that's fine. I love everything about it. I love it. And they don't do nearly enough with Speed Racer. Like
they tried to make a live action film. I don't know whether it got
and it's not bad.
Canceled. Oh, it did get made. Okay.
Yeah, they made it. It's not bad. It's not great.
It's Speed Racer.
Yeah, but see, Speed Racer the anime is so bad that it's amazing.
There are anime, and again, we need a nerd episode. I promise you, we need.
I'm such an anime nerd. Disney, anime, and Star Wars. And then
I'm getting into anime now. Like I'm in the middle of
probably like all my fandoms.
So you got Disney, anime, Star Wars, and Marvel, right?
Doctor Who.
And Doctor Who. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I got something to ask y'all about after this. Because I have an idea.
Ooh.
But so
wait, can I spoil the idea possibly? Can we all pick a character in our fandom? But all of us have to pick a different character in a completely different fandom, and then we make a TikTok series of those characters interacting, but we're playing those characters. Can we please?
Oh dear God, that would be interesting. There's a fourth person I want to pull.
We'll all stitch each other constantly. Like that's what it'll be. That's.
There are one and two other people I think I would want to pull in for this.
I'll be Daredevil. I'll be Matt Murdock.
All right.
I'll get a full-blown Daredevil costume. I'll get to be Daredevil.
My wife will not let me buy a Batman costume.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jay's going to be Batman.
I want to be Batman. And every episode has to have the word Martha in it in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah, every TikTok you have to mention Martha.
Stupid. Oh my God.
Say that name. Why did you say that name?
No, that has to be the line. Any name anybody says, that's the line.
Anytime somebody says anybody's name or mentions anyone, you stitch it.
Why did you say that name?
Why
did you say that name?
Amazing.
Swear to me.
I love this.
But like,
okay. I feel like you were gonna ask something.
I'm sorry. I derailed this.
I completely lost track of like what I was gonna ask. But no, I spin-off show. Oh, we'll talk about it all.
Here he comes. Here comes Speed Racer.
Okay.
He's a demon on wheels.
I love it so much.
I guarantee you, somebody's thinking about making a reboot to that. If
yeah.
I'm talking about like an actual like
movie.
Straight to Netflix. No. I'm thinking like straight to Netflix TV show reboot of Speed
animated, 100%,
yes.
and
like
please.
they did Voltron. Like
exactly like they did Voltron.
I think that's what they're thinking. I guarantee you somebody's working on that now.
I don't know who owns Speed Racer at this point. I think it's shifted owners.
Listen, if it's not like an
anime production company.
If it's an anime production company, not Crunchyroll, because Crunchyroll just got bought up by Funimation.
I love Funimation.
I do too. I have it. I
Me too.
can't wait till they fully absorb Crunchyroll, so that way
Yeah.
I don't have to have 2 memberships. I can just have one. But back
Or
to
they can keep charging you double.
Listen. You already know how this is going to work. It's like you own both. I'm just going to sit over here on Funimation and wait till you move it over because you're going to have
love
to.
Funimation.
But I
This
think
episode of Inspirations Beyond Disability is brought to you in part by Funimation. If you want to support our show, that's not a real thing.
No, I promise you that's possible. Just thinking about it, I think it's possible.
Do they have a like a affiliate program built into the thing?
No clue.
I know some people. I know there's some Twitch streamers that are.
Yeah, I know that. That's the only reason I know what Funimation is from ads. I don't.
Yeah, that's originally how I found out about it.
I can't pay for any. I can't pay for any more streaming platforms. I can't do it. I have too many and not enough time to watch them.
I found out about Funimation that they had a streaming platform because I just Googled it. But like the Funimation Studios, I found out about years ago. I've been watching anime since I was like 8. Probably before that because
some of our American
before that. Yeah, because I was watching like Pokemon and all that.
Yep.
Which technically count as anime. So I've been watching anime for my whole life. But when I really got into it and dug in, I realized that a lot of the dubs that I liked were Funimation because they're like, they do the best dubs. They do. Yes, they just do. There's no. So when I was like, is there a streaming service for anime? And then I found Funimation. I was like, oh, and it's gonna be like all the good dubs are here.
Yep.
And I can't read subtitles anymore, so I subscribed to Funimation.
Yeah, this is my big issue when people get into that argument about dubs and stuff. Like, screw subtitles. I'm sorry, I'm blind. Leave me alone. I don't care.
I used to do it. I used to be sitting in my chair at my desk. My mom bought me this huge like widescreen desktop when I was in like my mom and my aunt put money together and bought it for me and my sister. I had like this huge Dell desktop and I used to sit like all the way up in front of the thing and like just sit there and read subtitles, but I can't even do that anymore. So it's like I need a streaming and always have dubs.
I used to have to pause it and read it. That was the only way I used to be able to read
that when it was a lot happening. But
yeah, pause and read.
I usually would skim. I would skim unless it was a lot. Like if it was like a big monologue and
yes, that was a headache.
Over and over again, I would have to pause and be like, okay, hold on.
This is the reason I'm not probably going to continue to watch Squid Game is because I watched the first episode with a terrible dub and the dub is terrible. I'm not even going to deny that, and it's awful. And yet,
is it really that bad? I haven't
trust
watched
me.
it.
It's terrible.
After a while, because my wife watched Squid Game and I wasn't like really into it, and then the later she got into it, the later the episodes, I'm like, oh, this isn't like you. After a while, the plot overshadows the terrible dub. Because like
really
3%. I don't know if you ever seen 3% on Netflix, but like 3% is like that. It's horrible. The dub is terrible, but the story overtakes the dub.
I mean, Squid Game. Watch the trailer for Squid Game, and you'll know the dub is terrible.
I'll have to try it.
But that's one of Netflix's things where they just take like they basically live action anime. They give it the live action anime treatment, and some of it is good, some of it is not. But certain shows, the story will suck you in so much.
So Squid Game is good enough, even if I watch it with the terrible dub, even though the entire internet persistently says turn on the Japanese or the Korean and watch it with subtitles.
But we can't.
This is
I know we can't. I know we can't.
Also the same internet that will tell you that watching Dragon Ball subs is better than watching the dubs because the dubs are terrible.
I watched Dragon Ball as a kid, dubbed on Cartoon Network or whatever that was, and I loved it then. And then I grew up and went up to college, and people's fandom said this show sucks unless you're watching it with subtitles. And then I never went back and watched any more Dragon Ball. I got to the Boo Saga, watched through the Boo Saga as a kid on Cartoon Network with the terrible, supposedly terrible dub that I never felt was terrible.
It was never terrible. It's still
I've never gone back, and I've lost my fandom for Dragon Ball Z.
And that's the problem, because the internet will tell you to do a lot of things, and it's just like at the end of the day, Are you going to stick with what you love? Like, I'm dubs all day. That's the only way I can watch anime.
I can't watch anime if I
refuse to watch it in subs.
Every time I meet one of those sub people, I'm like, I'm blind, and they're like,
yeah,
okay. Yeah,
like why don't you watch the subs? Because I can't read them.
I literally can't. Bye.
Guys, I think we've gone well over an hour.
We are way over.
I think we're almost at 2 at this point.
Yeah, Jason's going to have to edit this episode. So thank you so much for listening to Inspirations Beyond Disability. Go ahead, Jay. I'm helping.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
We did have that conversation in the chat, and we decided to just let y'all go.
But we appreciate you guys hanging with us. We loved having you guys here in the conversation. Shy, where can people find you?
I'm still not so shy everywhere. That's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, although I haven't really put much into my YouTube lately, but I will. I'm finally settled in my new home. I'm going to make more content for you guys.
Awesome. Dave, where can people find you?
You can find me everywhere as Tell You Dave, but the best place to find me is the Snack Network, where I try all sorts of new snacks and get hand butter all over things. So,
and
your
where
new nickname, by the way.
You said what?
His new nickname. Although there's a debate between if it's Jay or Dave that is hand butter at this point. And
wow, I don't want to know.
Your wife said no more hand butter talk.
Okay. But and apparently the Snack Network is also a place where I mess up the name Snack Network for some reason. You can find me at The Baritone Blurred on TikTok, because everywhere else is just me posting TikToks that I really like other places. So thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you all. We will see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Beautiful.
Here he comes. Here comes Speed Racer. Do 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 do.
I was 7 when that was out. That's what's funny to me. And the original Spider-Man was on the Electric Company. He was like a skit on the Electric Company.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yes. Guys,
that's crazy.
I have an idea, right?
Okay.
Up to you guys. I want to make an IBD spinoff, a nerds spinoff.
Nice.
You, the three of us, and I'm thinking about, and let me know, I don't know if you guys heard of her or watch her. I'm thinking about to add a second lady to the mix. Purple Mute.
I've
Margaret.
seen her. Totally.
I don't know who that is, but I also hate TikTok now. So
I love Margaret.
I love Margaret. Margaret is amazing to me.
She's a big anime nerd like me. And
yes.
She does other stuff too. She'd be fun. She cosplays and everything.
Yes, and that's why I thought about like either her or Heather. But if everybody knows who Margaret is, I'd like to do at least and Jason, I was thinking this because this could be my Saturday spinoff since I can't be here on Fridays.
Right, that's what I was.
That would give me an opportunity to be a regular too, because
that's right. Because you start working now.
I start on the 18th.
So I'm thinking of that. I'm thinking of that being the spinoff, like just the nerds, like talking all stuff nerds, Marvel, DC, all that good stuff.
Yeah,
we can cover the news that comes out that week. We can cover all of that stuff. For
nerd.
I have the name across the internet, the Cinema Network. If people care.
I really felt bad during the Marvel DC that I couldn't come in and stand up with Jay.
I mean,
I stand alone with DC Comics all the time.
It went as well as every other DC argument I've ever heard, which is, man, DC's really good. If you read the comics, it really is Batman, but that movie really does kind of suck. Like, I actually admit that it's not very good. So, like...
I loved both Justice Leagues. I liked the second Suicide Squad.
Yes,
I loved the first Wonder Woman.
Yes.
There's no comparison in Marvel to Wonder Woman anywhere.
Nope.
The first Wonder Woman was a blast. I really loved that movie.
I saw that Wonder Woman movie. That movie is about killing your brother, and I saw it with my brother, which I hadn't seen a movie with my brother in like 10 years. And that was just a weird experience. And I don't know. I did not love it.
This is an awkward interaction. Did not know this film was about this.
It was weird enough that I was going to a movie with my brother, right? That was weird enough. That was a weird enough reaction. And then we go to a movie and it's like, kill your brother. And they're like, oh, okay.
And I'm sorry, I got to vote for most quotable movie as Kung Pao.
Oh, My dad loves that movie. My dad
It's one
loves
of the-
that movie.
I love
Jason, are we
that
still
movie.
live?
Yeah, still live.
Oh, crap.
Still recording.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry. Did you want me to stop?
I thought we were done. I thought it had stopped.
Well, you guys got a little sneak peek of something that might happen.
Well,
Still
welcome to the
live stream.
production side of Inspirations
Yeah.
Beyond Disability.
Let me give
Yeah.
you a clue about something.
There you go.
There you go.
Sadly, Saturdays will probably not be my ideal day to appear on a. I will occasionally be able to make an appearance, but I cannot commit